And hello, hi, and welcome, Taurus. Welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay, and this is going to be your general reading, tarot reading for the month of April. So, welcome. First off, happy birthday to you early Taurians, those that celebrate at the end of April. Just want to tell you that off the bat. As you guys can tell, I'm a new kid on the block around here as far as online tarot readers go here on YouTube. So I thank you so much for stopping by. If you are compelled to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, please feel free to do so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to meditate really quickly on your energy. And then we're going to get you a spread, and we're going to dive into the reading right after. So, hang on a second, and we're going to get your energies, okay? And guys, if you're not really into tarot readers, you shuffle on camera and you kind of just want to jump into the reading, there'll be a timestamp down in the description box below. So feel free to click there if you want to get to the part where I start in on the reading and giving you your messages for April. Oh, there's a heck of a flyer there. Because I'm not much of a talker before all the cards are on the board. I don't really, I don't give you too much of a spiel or anything like that, or plus, my life's not that exciting. So I don't have any news to share with you or anything like that, or anything you want to know about me, you can find it in the About section on the channel, or you can just ask me, and I'll shoot you a message, or I'll provide you the answer sometime in the future. But anyway. Oh boy. Got some jumpy cards here. You've got explosive energy. That's what I would say. Based on how these cards are flipping out here. Your energy is kind of let's not say the last few cards here. Okay. And I'm looking for an outcome card for Taurus. Okay. No? No. Outcome card for Taurus. Okay. In the month of April. Let's see. Okay. And overall energy based on what's on the bottom of the deck. Now, as you can see, Taurus, most of your cards came out face up. I didn't have to flip them over and greet them. They showed up because they wanted to be seen. The only one that didn't want to be seen was that guy. And so give me another moment, and we're gonna go ahead and Tune into this energy here. And I'm pretty sure you can hear the opera music in the background. That plays because it helps keep me sort of centered or focused on your reading. And so I apologize if you're not a fan of opera, but it's what does the trick for me. So sorry. All right, let me go ahead and get into this and see what's going on with you. All right, Taurus, I think what we've got going on here is we've got a situation where you're definitely the key player, and you're dealing with someone, a particular person, and they're kind of, they're not doing what you want them to do. And I think your wishes are a little bit dashed. I think your wishes and your hopes and your dreams are a little dashed, just a little bit, or a lot. I'm not really sure. We're gonna find out. But you've definitely shown up in the reading. Empress card here. Empress card is normally associated with you, Taurus, or sometimes also a Libra, since you're both Venus ruled, and the Empress sits by the symbol for Venus right there. And with the Empress card being right there, I feel that's who you view yourself to be, not like in an egotistical way, not in a way that says, oh, I'm so fabulous, I'm so great, or anything like that, because the Empress really is about a nurturing energy. She's about, she's about an energy that is tempered, is about luxury, is about abundance, is about fertility and love and sex and maybe a little bit of magic. There's a little music reference in there for some of you guys. You might know that. But it's just an overwhelmingly positive and fruitful and adoring and just luscious feel with the Empress. And I think that's in your heart, which is sort of cliche to say, but I feel like that's at the center of you, is that energy of just being a fruitful, nurturing type of person. And that's what you're coming into this situation with. The situation is not super clear. You know, you've got all the elements here. Well, yeah, you've got all the elements here, and three major arcana truly on the board, but 2 in your main spread. And I'm just not seeing, when I say the situation, I'm not seeing if this is about love and romance. I'm not seeing if this is about work. I'm not seeing if this is about family. I'm not seeing if this is something spiritual. But whatever it is, I'm not seeing any of those clearly just yet. But whatever it is, there's like a tenderness to you, because the Empress is fierce. You can't really tell in that card that she's fierce, but she is. She is fierce. She's kind of relaxing on her little chair there. She's like, and she's got like, you know, a small scepter, but she is fierce. But I don't think that's kind of the energy that you're resting in. You're not wanting to be as ferocious, or, you know, you're not wanting to give people the horns. You know, Taurus, the bull, you guys are known to have those horns and use them when you need to, and you're not in that energy. You're in that soft energy, and that's what you want to present to people. But you are not facing people who appreciate it. You're not being appreciated. I think that you've got someone around you, or people, not just one, but, or rather at least one particular person, if not one person, then a group of people, or just the vibe or the energy that's around you. But if it is a specific person, you've got people around you who are just not appreciating it. You've got people around you who are giving you, who are looking at you with the Two of Wands. Because this guy, when he's down on the board, he's facing the Empress with the Two of Wands, and he's evaluating. You know, the Empress is like, I'm offering this, I'm offering that. I've got grapes on the vine. I've got lush furniture with soft padding and soft pillows. You know, I've got money. I've got sex, sexuality, voluptuousness, seduction. I've got all these things. What do you want? Sort of like, not necessarily strictly in a sexual way, but, you know, the Empress is sort of like the owner of a pleasure palace. Whatever you fancy, whatever you need to sustain you, she can give it to you. And that's kind of where you're sitting, Taurus. You're like, I have it all. I've got all the tools of the trade. What do you need? I'm a one-stop shop. And this person here and here with the Queen of Swords, we'll talk about her in a second, but here, this person is evaluating you. You're being evaluated. Someone is looking at what you have to offer, and they're saying, do I really want that? Is what Taurus is telling me they have to offer, and Empress, male or female, doesn't matter, you're a Taurus. Men can be just as sexual and voluptuous and all that kind of stuff as women. But, so it doesn't matter, but whoever this is with the Two of Wands, they're looking at you and they're like, do you really have everything that I want? And even though they're facing you, I feel like they're saying no. Or they're saying maybe not. Either they're giving you a strict no, you're not, or no, you don't have what I want, or I'm not sure, I gotta think about it. I'm not sure, I don't see it yet. Like, you see it clearly. You're like, look at everything I have. I've got it. It's all waiting for you. And this person's like, I don't really see that. They can't see it. They're wanting to see it, I think. They want to see it, but they're not seeing it. And I feel that that person, like, this is sort of a softer, perhaps even, this is like a mask, I feel, the Two of Wands. The mask that sits on the face of the Queen of Swords. Because the Queen of Swords is beneath you, so that's of significance. The Queen of Swords, I feel, is the Two of Wands person. Either they're the same person or they're closely related to one another. The Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Either the same person or very closely related. So these could be relatives of yours. They could be in-laws. They could be co-workers. They could be anything. If it's more than one person. But what I feel more specifically about the Queen of Swords is, like, she's holding that sword up, and she's evaluating in a similar way that the Two of Swords is evaluating. She's also evaluating, but she's got her sword up, and she's not about the bull. She's not about the bull. She's like, look, what do you have for me? Let me see it. If I don't like it, I'm taking your head. If I don't like it, I'm going to run this blade through your chest. And I don't necessarily, I'm saying it that way, but I don't think it's necessarily so adversarial. I don't think it's so violent that someone's literally going to try and physically hurt you or get into some type of confrontation with you. But I think it's more of this person is doing a mild, the Two of Wands, they're doing sort of like a mild, like, window shopping, kind of, maybe hemming and hawing about making a purchase, or if they're really going to sign on the dotted line. The Queen of Swords is like, she's already got one foot out the door. And so she's looking for any excuse, any reasoning, any proof, or inspiration to head out of the door completely. I feel she doesn't have any intention to stay, to purchase anything you have to offer, to sign on any dotted line that you're going to say is a great deal for her. I feel that she already has the intention of no, or the decision of no, but she's just doing you she's sort of doing you a courtesy by letting you, do your sales pitch, so to speak. And I'm sorry for the analogy with business and sales and stuff, but that's kind of how it's coming to me. This can apply to, again, any area of your life, if it resonates at all. If it doesn't resonate, sorry, maybe next time. But that's how I'm feeling this. I'm feeling like you, Taurus, you're sitting here and you're like, I have everything in the world to offer you. I'll do anything. I will create anything. I will buy you anything. I will make you anything out of, from my blood, sweat, and tears. Tell me what it is. Because when you love someone or you're invested in something, again, this doesn't have to be love. It could just be, but it could be a business or any type of endeavor. Whatever you put your set your sights on, whatever you set your sights on, you're going to go after it like a rabid dog. You're going to go after it with such tenacity, such passion, and such care that other signs probably could learn a lesson or two from you guys when it comes to being dedicated. You're dedicated. One of the most dedicated signs, to a fault sometimes, because you guys get that stigma of being stubborn like a bull, right? So you definitely want to be wary of that. But I think that's what's going on here. I think that you've signed on to something. There's a vision in your mind of something that you want to obtain, something that you want to hold on to, something that you want to follow through with, whatever it is. And you believe in it. And you believe you're going to do what you believe that you can do, whatever it takes to make it succeed, to make it work, to make it fruitful, to make it bear fruit and sustain yourself and the people that you love and care about. But there's someone, at least one person, or two people, or however many, who are like, we don't think so. Like, that all sounds well and good, Taurus, but no, we're not really feeling that idea. Now, based on these two cards, you would be looking at, with the Swords energy, air signs. That would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And if it was a Wands, with the Wands, that would be a fire sign. And that would be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Potential. Not written in stone. These people are showing those qualities at this moment. If they aren't those zodiac signs, they're at least embodying these qualities of those signs. And so when we're talking about swords or air elements, you're talking about someone who's removed emotion. Not necessarily consciously removed, but isn't emotion forward, isn't leading with their heart. They're leading with their mind. They're leading with their intellect and their rationale, and they've thought about it. They're going by the facts and the figures, okay? They're not looking at this through the lens of, well, not impracticality, but they're not looking at this frivolously. They're looking at it through the eyes of what makes sense right now. They can't see much into the future. They can't consider, well, maybe the tide will change, maybe the weather will change, and then eventually something will become more of a fruitful or prosperous investment. No, based on what we have here today, that's what they're evaluating on. With the Two of Wands, similar, but more of a, with Wands, that's your passion, that's your spirit, that's your heart, right? That's what you get up in the morning, and that's what drives you through your day. But it's a two. you know. And if we're thinking how it is with the tarot deck, you want to build up. You want to build. And 2 is a low number, right? So 2 is, like I said, it's that evaluation. It's like I could see it. I see what you're trying to say, Taurus. I see what you're trying to sell me. I see what you're laying on the line here. But they're just not fully on board with it because they're still out there weighing up other options. Now, when I phrase it that way, weighing up other options, out there weighing up other options, if we did take this to love, because I could see now, I'm feeling it, because now the Queen of Cups is, well, she's been there the whole time, but now I'm taking her into view. This could be a love scenario. And if so, you might be dealing with someone who, I don't want to say is like got 2 people, you and someone else, or you and 2 other people, or anything like that. I don't want to say that. But they're window shopping, at the very least. They could have someone else on the side. It is possible. I don't see any other person, because I think the Queen of Cups is your energy as well. And the Fool, I think the Fool would be your energy too, but we're going to get to that. But I don't see too many other people. I see this person, though, evaluating other people, evaluating their prospects, evaluating their options. Queen of Swords, she could be doing that, but like I said earlier, she's kind of removed from her emotions. So, and again, if anything, the 2 of Wands is kind of sharing that energy. Like this again could be the same person. And so if it is that, if we're talking about one person here, then there's a part of this person that's, like I said, they're window shopping, they're browsing. You know, they could be with you if we're talking romance. They could be with you, but you know, they got a Tinder account. Straight up, they got an account on Tinder. They're on Plenty of Fish. You know, they're up in people's DMs doing all kinds of things. And not necessarily to the full extent of an affair, of cheating or anything like that. It could be as innocent, quote unquote innocent, as flirting. And that puts them in the 2 of Wands. It's like, oh yeah, I've been with you for a while, Taurus. I love you. I care about you. We have a thing going on. But then, you know, they're pulling their iPhone out of their pocket and they're texting someone under the table while they're looking you in the eyes saying, oh, baby, you're so sweet. That there's a slight potential for that there. Because again, the 2 is like that building of passion, that early initiation of, am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? And whichever way I go, that's where I'm going to take my passion. That's where I'm going to take my energy, my spirit with me. And I'm going to invest if I go left or right. And I don't think you know that yet. And if I'm breaking that news to you, I'm sorry. Or if I'm confirming something to you, I'm sorry. Because that's a bummer. Nobody wants to be dealing with that. And I think, yeah, either you don't know that, or you didn't know that, or you're beginning to understand that, and you're staying steady. Because if you do know that already, let's say you do know it, okay, then your response is the Queen of Cups. So in the face of someone who's been cold, removed, distant from you, kind of being a bitch to you, kind of being standoffish with you, or someone who's telling you, I gotta think about it. I gotta see where my head is. I got many things on my plate right now. In the face of people telling you stuff like that, or behaving in those ways to you, you still come out with the Queen of Cups. And what's the Queen of Cups? Compassion, soft, caring, Similar to the Empress, nurturing. Someone who she's not reversed, so that's good. Because reverse would be the extreme of all that, to the point of martyrdom, to the point of sacrificing yourself. But even still, when she's in the upright, sometimes I feel, even in the upright, the Queen of Cups can have rose-tinted glasses on. You know? She can look at a situation square in the eye, and someone saying, hey, Taurus, I don't like you. But she's got those glasses on, and Taurus hears, you don't like me right now? You don't like me today? That means maybe tomorrow you'll like me. No, Taurus. I don't like you at all. I've never liked you. I actually hate your guts. Well, my guts are only one part of me. Maybe you like my eyes? Don't you think my eyes are pretty? Like, she's always looking for a loophole, or she's always looking for a place to put a positive spin on something. You know? Now I'm like stuck in this romantic scenario, this love, dating, maybe even a marriage, but I'm not super seeing marriage, but whatever this is, if it is romantic, you are, I was going to say you're playing the fool, and I had forgotten that the fool was right here on the board. I really did forget that the fool was right there on the board. This is definitely you. That's that's definitely working, because you're making a V shape here. You. Them. Okay? You get the V, they get the arc. Okay? You're playing the fool, which is good in some ways. Meaning you're innocent in all this. As innocent as you can be in whatever scenario this might apply to your life, you're the innocent here. You've done nothing to warrant the behavior, the reactions, the comments, the communication, the emails, the text, whatever it is coming your way, that's being sent to you by the Queen of Swords and her compadre, the Two of Wands, or by that same person. You've done nothing to really deserve that. Okay? Because your intention the entire time, with the Empress through to the Queen of Cups, coming back out on the other side as the Fool, the intention of all three of these is pretty clear. Is pretty pure. No, nothing here is reversed for you. And like I said, if anything, even when upright, the Queen of Cups might come closely to martyrdom. Maybe. But I think when she's upright, her worst sin is the rose-tinted glasses. The Empress might be a little naive, or a little distracted or ditzy. Like, she's so in awe of her own bountiful abundance that she sometimes forgets that's not attractive to everybody. Like, she kind of gets a little full of herself. So if anything, those are your two biggest crimes. You kind of had a little too much ego, or a little too much expectancy of your own potency. Like, oh, I would, you're like, my perfume is the most sexy, I have the most alluring, not sexy, I have the most alluring perfume. I've got my hair done. I wear the best clothes, like that. Like, I look awesome. I feel awesome. I am amazing. Who doesn't love me? This person. And when you get to know that, you're like, huh? Say what? You don't love all of this? And Taurus, is known. One of your character traits is materialism. So it can sometimes come as a shock to you when people aren't impressed because you wear the coolest clothes, because you drive the nicest car, because when they come in your house, it's the most pristine place they've ever been. That doesn't always flatter people or impress people. It doesn't always get their juices going. And when that happens, sometimes you're a little, like, you're honest to God flabbergasted. You're like, huh? Really? What? Because I love it. Why don't you love it? So I think that's your greatest sin here, is you've been sort of full of yourself or naive and self-deceiving. Self-deception is what you've done. That's your greatest flaw here. And that's why you're the fool. Because the orientation of the Fool and the Empress is coming in on both sides to the Two of Wands. Like, whenever this person, whoever the Two of Wands is, whenever they decide to go left or right, you're still going to be there. You know? If they go right and that's with you, okay, you're going to be there. If they go left and it's with someone else, or it's with no one, or it's on a completely different path, you're still going to be there. You're on either side of this guy. You'll be damned if they get away from you. And that is, again, another thing that Taurus is known for. If you are not done with the situation, nobody's done with the situation. And there's a potential for that here with this orientation. Okay? Now, with the Fool energy, I think that's what you're going to end up being. And I think you need to be conscious and cognizant of how you're going to enact or utilize the energy of the Fool. The Fool can... his whole purpose is to step into the unknown with blind faith. Now, you can take that two ways. You could take it with what I just said, which is to step into the situation with blind faith, and that faith being in what you already know, which is if I can't have you, if you want to leave me, I'm still going to be by your side. That's not really the way you want to go about it. The true way that I think you would be advised to take the Fool is to step away from this whole situation. To step away from this person, to step away from the circumstances, to step away. Maybe this is an internal thing that you're going through. Step away from a part of yourself or an old behaviors of yours, old patterns of yours, whatever it is. But step away and sort of do a 180 on it. Instead of stepping off the cliff on the north side, you need to go around the other way and step off the cliff headed to the south side. You know, because Taurus has a habit, you do have a habit of, or you have the potential of a habit of repeating things, you know, much like that bull, which symbolizes your sign. You will continually buck and ram your head at the same target over and over and over again, when your tactic might be better to get up and go away, to go left, veer right, whatever it is. So there has to be some kind of cognizant, conscious change and a willingness to take a risk, but in the completely opposite direction from where you've been. Because again, Empress and the Fool, they're facing the two of Wands. And it's not going to get you anywhere. Because this person is still going to be window shopping. If this is someone who's in close cahoots with the Queen of Swords, she's not changing her posture at all. She's not putting down that sword. She's not opening up her heart. She's staying in her logical mind, and she is meaning everything that she says. She is not about the BS, okay? She's not about to be persuaded to do or think anything differently. So she is where she is. And looking at the orientation between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I mean, it's always funny when a card comes up this way next to the Queen of Swords, but she's got her hand out like, come on. Come on. What do you got, Queen of Cups? What do you got? Show me. And the Queen of Cups is like, I've got this chalice here, and it's full of my heart and my emotions and how I feel about you. Yeah, I don't want that. What else you got? And all the Queen of Cups has is her chalice. And the Queen of Swords is like, I've got a bare open hand that's probably calloused and chapped because I'm a tough woman, and I've got a sword. You know, there's just like, there's dissension between these two. There's definitely a blockage between these two. And it's a total impasse, I see. A total impasse between them. And that's unfortunate because the Queen of Swords is not going to back down. And your natural inclination, Taurus, is to not really back down. It's one of your greatest strengths and simultaneously one of your greatest weaknesses. No offense. And so with the Eight of Wands here coming underneath you in your full position and next to you in your Queen of Cups position and then diagonal to the Two of Wands position, the Eight of Wands means there's a lot of chatter. Eight of Wands is about communication, spirited, very intense, passionate, riled up communication. Doesn't mean you're getting like a 10-page email or anything like that, or, you know, a 15-page handwritten letter with tear streaks coming down or anything like that. That type of intensity isn't the point. The point is that the message is full of conviction, or the message is, because you got many wands there. The messages are full of conviction. So you're in communication with this person. This person isn't unknown to you. They're very close to you. Close to you either with how you feel about them based on what you feel in your heart as the Queen of Cups, or they're close to you as in proximity as well. And you guys are doing a lot of back and forth because, again, it connects with you in both your Queen of Cups and your Fool position. And it also connects to them in their Two of Wands position. So you both are chit-chatting back and forth. You say one thing, they say one thing. And then they say another thing and you say another thing. And it goes on and on like this. And I feel it's kind of cyclical. I feel like it kind of doesn't go anywhere. Because what you tend to do is you tend to keep going back to the same methodology or the same position. You repeat yourself. You have a repetitive nature about you because you, again, believe, like the Empress, you believe in what you're saying, or you believe that your vision or that your point of view isn't necessarily correct or right, but that it is the most correct, the most right for everyone involved. Sometimes you can have that selfish intention where, yeah, I'm doing this mostly for me. But most of the time, you're doing it because you're like, you know, as an earth sign, you are methodical. You are about practicality. Why would we do that? That's something that a lot of Tauruses probably say throughout their daily lives. Why would we do that? Why would we as a company do that? Why would we as a football team do that? Why would we as a family going on vacation do that? You're always thinking of the collective that or the community or the group that you're a part of. And this is what's going on here. You keep coming back to well, why would we do that? 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 Over and over and over again. And this person is engaging with you only because they're still evaluating. This person, again, is connected to that Queen of Swords energy. Eventually, that's going to end on their part. That whole cyclical, repeating the conversation, saying the same point over and over again, or saying the point but with different words. They're going to get tired of that and they're going to stop. But you have this tendency to want to keep going. And I'm telling you, my advice is you got to take that Fool energy. Like, that to me is like your most positive card here. Like, the Empress is positive, and the Queen of Cups, they're positive on their own, but they're acting as a detriment to you right now. You're giving too much of that love, too much of that dedication, that it's making a fool of you. I didn't want to say it again, but that's what's coming out of my mouth. You're so invested emotionally. You're so invested because of the dream and the vision that you have of the future, or the dream and the vision that you believe you're living in now, whichever way it falls, that it's making a fool of you because you're so hard pressed to let it go. And the Fool says you have to let it go. The Fool can repeat himself. The Fool is kind of like one of those little wind-up toys that you get in like a little machine, like outside of an arcade or a movie theater or a supermarket or something, and you twist them up. You twist him up, right? And he's got little legs, and when you and so you assume he's just going to go in a straight path. No, you let that little thing go. He goes and he like runs in circles. He just runs all over the table. The Fool is that. The Fool can go in any direction, like a little wind-up toy. He doesn't walk a straight path. He could fall off the cliff this way. He could fall off the cliff that way. He can go back 10 miles and fall off another cliff. Whatever. Your advice is to kind of try and rein in that energy of the Fool can go anywhere. And because you have the power ultimately to lead the Fool. You have the power to ultimately kind of hone that energy. And you need to put it towards a direction that you've never been before. Not in circles, running around in the same spot. Not into the same blockage, the same wall that, you can't penetrate past. You have to go another way. And you're going to have to figure that out. And I don't think you can right now, because you got the Moon card as your overall energy. Moon card is about major arcana of the moon. What isn't easily understood or seen? Something murky, something blurry, fuzzy, okay? I think you have a very small inkling as to what to do next, or what to expect, or what to prepare yourself for, but you don't have the step-by-step plan yet. You don't have the step-by-step outline. I think what's going on, because you have this as your outcome, and I didn't show you the Moon card, so that's the Moon card in case you needed to see it. But, if you're watching this, or if you're watching any other tarot reader on YouTube, I'm sure you've seen these cards a million times. But anyway, with that Moon card, you're not sure, and I think part of why you're not sure is because as your outcome, you've got the Three of Cups in reverse. What does that mean to me? You're upright, celebratory, close bonds, party hardy, shots, camaraderie. Reversed, not so much anymore. All the beverage that are in those cups is falling out, and eventually these ladies are going to fall and topple down on their heads. I think there was some kind of camaraderie, some kind of close bond that you had with someone or a group of people that you're sort of losing, or rather, you feel like you're losing it. You feel like you have no one. Gives you the moon card, gives you that feeling of being adrift, not centered, not anchored to something. Emerging from the deep, dark water into what kind of environment am I about to come into? There's a lot of uncertainty with the moon and the Three of Cups in reverse, which is feeding or has the potential to feed your Fool energy in a positive way. You have to embrace the unknown. You have to embrace the what's next. You have to embrace what's coming up and kind of revel in the idea, or the fact, not even the idea, the fact that you don't have a solid plan, that you don't have a solid person, like a particular person. If we're talking about romance, that person who's about to leave or is thinking about leaving or has left but just hasn't told you yet, whatever the situation is, the idea of not having them anymore probably petrifies you a little bit, probably makes your head spin, because again, you were invested. Removing that that solidity, that solid foundation to a Taurus. If you didn't enact that change, if you didn't say I want to do over, I want to wipe the slate clean, if you didn't say that and someone else says that and they give you the clean slate, you do not like it. You don't like it. And I think that the universe is trying to tell you, you got to get comfortable with the clean slate. You got to get into that clean slate. And that kind of is interesting, because this reading being for April, it's getting to be the birthday of some of you guys. And then going into May, that might be a totally different reading, but the idea of your cycle, your yearly cycle, your solar return, as you may have heard it termed in some of your viewing across YouTube. When that happens, not just for Taurus, but for all the signs, when that happens, it's a chance to sort of be reborn, to start again, get that clean slate and do whatever the hell you want with it. That's what's going on here. You've been kind of sitting pretty as the Empress and the Queen of Cups, saying la la la, la 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 la. I'm sitting in my beautiful garden, I'm in my beautiful home, I have my wonderful job, I have my wonderful family, whatever it is. I'm a model. I don't know. Whatever you have been so la-di-da about, so just like, this is the best. Everything I have is the best. And again, not in a cocky way, not in an egotistical way. Like, no, you literally are in love, or have been in love, with your circumstances. You thought you had all the cake with the icing and the cherries on earth. You just thought you had all that. And someone in your midst, one person, many people, whatever, or circumstances, is about to tell you, you don't have all that cake with the icing and the cherries. You don't have it. I took it from you. Or I let it sit out in the rain. You know? I took it out of the oven before it was actually finished baking. Whatever it is, they have had a hand in ruining your cake. In making your cake not as sweet as you thought it was. And again, when you don't decide to ruin the cake, when you are dead set on having the cake and someone says there's no cake, you don't know what to do. You might get angry, you might get sad, whatever. Those are the initial reactions. But your actual response, as in what to do next, you don't know. Because Taurus is a planner, Taurus is a plotter. You like to have notice. You like to have your ducks in a row. And you're not walking into that in April. You're not. Your best bet is to embrace the unknown and appreciate it. Learn something from it. Learn a new skill from it. Whether it be a practical skill, someone breaks your heart, someone walks out of your life, you lose that awesome job. What do? Take up knitting. Learn a new skill. Go to an axe throwing class. Get back into working with ceramics like you did in high school because that was your elective and you really loved it, even though it was 20 years ago. Whatever it is, learn a new skill. A practical skill, or a life skill, or a spiritual skill, or anything. But reinvest this unknown energy into yourself, because that's what the Fool is. The Fool is a solo journey. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. I have got to work on the settings for when I do these recordings. Anyway, so the Fool is a solo journey. You have to reinvest or get invested in that. The Empress was trying to sell Mr. Two of Wands and Ms. Queen of Swords, or Mrs. Queen of Swords. Mrs. She's divorced, but she still goes by Mrs. The Empress was trying to get these two people, or this one person, however it falls out in your life, she's trying to get them invested. She's trying to get them to sign on the dotted line. Guess what? You need to sign your own dotted line. You need to get invested in yourself. Take the Fool energy and do that. Take the Fool energy and do that. And also, like I was mentioning before about it being, your birthday month at the end of April for some of you, and then later in May for the rest of you, the Fool is about starting over. You don't just have one Fool's journey in this life. You have several, right? And so this is you. You're coming up on another Fool's journey. And each time you end a Fool's journey and get ready to begin another one, when you get to that ending, you have to sit there and say, now what did I learn from where I was? What did I learn from the road that I'm about to exit from? That's what you need to do here. And you need to take whatever you've learned after you've really thought about it. You've really come to terms with what it is. And you need to apply it. Carry it with you in the little knapsack that the Fool always carries, his little knapsack. Or if you're going to take the dog, have the dog carry it for you. Train the dog to carry it for you, whatever you do. But be conscious of what you just learned from this person, from the circumstances, from the loss, from the heartache, from the frustration, from the anger, whatever it is. Learn from your reactions so that you can prepare a better response. Learn from other people's reactions to you, to what you've offered, here with the Empress and the Queen of Cups, and how they were just like, no thanks. And you were like, but that was my greatest sales pitch. I worked on that for months. And they're like, no thanks. You're out there spinning signs on the corner. You got, a drum hooked up to your back and you're blowing a horn and you've got fireworks shooting off of your back and all that stuff. They were not impressed. They weren't intrigued. What do you get to learn from someone's reaction when you've put in all that effort, when you've let your desires and your gumption and your energy be displayed in such a way, and someone says, I'm not into that. No, thanks. Not today. I'm not interested. I've got enough. I've had enough of your showcase. What does that mean? That means maybe not get so invested next time. Hard for a Taurus to do, I know. Because when you like something or you like someone, you set your eyes on it, you want it, you're going to pull out all the stops. Maybe not every time, Taurus. Maybe not every time. Be discerning. Be discerning. Okay? So, that is your message, or your messages. It's more than one, but there's sort of a strong strain in there in throughout all of that. But that's what you get for April. And I hope that something here resonated with you. If not, come back in May. Maybe something will turn up there for you. If you resonated with this, go ahead and comment below in the video. And if you feel compelled, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And thanks so much, Taurus. I will see you again in May. Bye.